Welcome in, everyone. Welcome to chapter 2 of Don't Let God Smell Your Panties by Tracy Allen. I am going to wait a few seconds. I am going to greet some of you as you come in, and then I am going to get right into the book. I'm going to wait a few moments. Welcome in, everyone. Make sure you thumbs up the live. This is a late night read with blogs and fiction. This is Don't Let God Smell Your Panties, Chapter 2 by Tracy Allen. I will be reading to Chapter 6, and I will be reading a new chapter every night. Thank you for your patience. I missed the last 2 nights. There was some things going on. Hello, Jalen. How are you? I'm happy to see you. Everyone, make sure that you thumbs up the live. Hello, Patricia. Nice to see you. Thumbs up the live to all of my mods. Make sure you greet everyone because I will be busy reading chapter 2 and I may not be able to greet everyone as they come in. So on my behalf, just make sure that you greet and you remind everyone to thumbs up the live. Give me one moment. Thumbs up. Hello, McCray Kings. Hey, Trish. Hey, Nick. Hello. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Again, this is chapter 2 of Don't Let God Smell Your Panties by Tracy Allen. Relax, relax, everyone. This is a late night read with blogs and fiction. So I just want you guys to chill back, listen to the story. It is very juicy. My mods, please greet everyone on my behalf and ask them to thumbs up. All right. Chapter 2 is called Yolanda. That is what it's titled. God knows I couldn't wait to get home. My back was bothering me, and all I wanted to do was take a hot shower. I called the house to see if Tim had gotten home yet. My stepdaughter Shasta answered the phone. Hello? Hey, Shasta, it's me, Yolanda. Did your father come home yet? Yes. Hold on. Okay. When Shasta came back to the phone, she sounded like she was out of breath. He's up he's upstairs sleeping. You want me to wake him up? No, that's okay. I'm gonna stop by McDonald's. What do you want? Nothing. Because Daddy said I could go to the movies and spend the night at Kelly's house. Her mother is going on her way to pick me up. All right. Then make sure you have something nice to put on for church tomorrow. Did Daddy give you enough money? Yes, he gave me $80. Whenever Shasta goes out, I tell Tim to give her enough money in case, God forbid, there is an emergency. Have fun tonight and don't stay up too late, I said. Thanks, Yolanda. I'll see you tomorrow. Tell Jasmine I said hi. All right. Bye. Thank you, Jesus. All I have to do is feed Jasmine, put her to bed. I can't wait to get home. Tim and I haven't made love in over a month. Aside from that, his mother came to live with us about 3 years ago. And since she has gotten here, My life has been pure hell. However, this weekend, she went to stay with her sister. God knows, I couldn't wait to get home. I truly plan to enjoy my evening. The drive through line at McDonald's was taking forever. I had to wait 10 minutes for one Happy Meal. Tim prefers for me to make home cooked meals since he's a dentist. He doesn't like the kids to drink too much soda or eat a lot of sweets or fast foods. By the time I got home, Shasta was gone, and I could tell from the looks of the kitchen sink that she did not wash any of the dishes that she messed up. I wasn't mad though. Shasta is actually a very good girl. Tim and I have been married for 5 years, and she came to live with us 2 years ago. Shasta's mother wanted to move to Georgia, and Tim did not want Shasta to go. So her mother told him, well, then you keep her because I'm going to Georgia to marry the man of my dreams. Shasta didn't mind staying with us because as she got older, her and her mother disagreed about everything. I love Shasta like she's my own child, and we have no big problems, thank God. I fed Jasmine while I cleaned up the kitchen. Mommy, I'm gonna stay up all night, Jasmine said, eating a chicken nugget. No, you are not. Yes, I am, because I slept all day at your job. But don't forget, we have to get you up early for church. I can do it, Jasmine said, putting more ketchup on her fries. That's what you think. But trust me, I know what's best for you. I'm going upstairs to check on Daddy. I'll be right back. I want to go too. She jumped up and followed me upstairs. Okay, but please be quiet. Tim was in his room, not our bedroom, but the room where he has his computer, couch, television, a little refrigerator filled with bottled water and popsicles. The only light in the room emanated from the television. Tim was lying on the couch in a pair of jean shorts. I had to bite my lip, looking at his beautiful, honey colored skin and rippled chest. I just wanted to reach down and lick his nipple. I had to keep telling myself to be patient. Jasmine peeked in the room, and before I knew it, she jumped on Tim. Wake up, Daddy! I'm up, I'm up. Tim wiped his eyes and kissed Jasmine on the cheek. Hey, baby, I miss you today, I said in a sexy voice. Tim sat up and looked at the ooze on Jasmine's hands. What's that on your hands? Ketchup, Jasmine answered while licking her fingers. She got ketchup on Tim's chest when she jumped on him. Go wash your hands, I said. No, I'm not finished eating yet, Jasmine said. Well, then go downstairs and finish eating now. Jasmine sucked her teeth and stumped down to the stairs. Normally, I would have made her come back and walk like she has some sense, but tonight I was determined to not let anyone mess up my beautiful evening. I sat next to Tim on the couch. So, how was your day? I asked. Fine. And how was your day? Hanging with the homies? Tim joked. My day was great. He hates the fact that I chose to work. He feels that with the money he makes, it's an insult for me to work. The only reason that I chose to work was because I couldn't take being here all day with his mother. Our life was fine until she moved in. And every day I pray that God gets her out of my house. I went downstairs to check on Jasmine. She was finished eating. I took her back upstairs and told her to pick out whatever movie she wanted to watch. I hated to do what I was about to do, but mommy and daddy needed some alone time. I felt Jasmine's head. Jasmine, your head feels a little warm. Mommy is going to give you something for that. I don't feel hot. Jasmine touched her forehead. Yes, you do, I said, pulling out the NyQuil cold medicine. I didn't give her as much as you would give an adult. I gave her just enough to help her go to sleep. I know my daughter, and she will stay up all night if I allow her to. God forgive me. But she can be a pest at times, especially at bedtime. She will run from the room to our room, crying that she can't sleep. And Tim gets mad because she's only 3 and he doesn't want me to hit her. But when I have had enough, she knows that I will tear her butt up, Tim or no Tim. By the time I finished with Jasmine, Tim was downstairs. What's for dinner? Tim asked, looking in the refrigerator. There should be some barbecue chicken from last night, I answered. No, I don't want chicken again. How about some Chinese? Oh, so you want me? I teased. Don't worry, I'll have you later. But right now, I want something I can eat. Trust me, baby, you can eat me all night long, I said as I walked over to him and rubbed my body against his. Right now, your man needs some food, Tim said while slapping my butt and looking at the Chinese takeout menu. You can get me what I always get, steamed shrimp with broccoli and white rice. I'm going to take a shower. Call me when the food gets here. I went upstairs, pulled out my new black Victoria's Secret teddy with black rhinestone thong panties. I pulled my hair into a ponytail and tied it with a scarf. Put on my shower cap and washed every inch of my body, paying special attention to my love spot. I wanted to make sure it was fresh and smelling good. Before I got out of the shower, I said a special prayer. God, please let tonight be special. Lord, Tim and I have a wonderful relationship. We love each other and our children. But most of all, we love you. And we know that there is none like you. I know the Bible says that you know the desires of my heart. So, God, please let tonight be different. Let Tim be able to give me complete satisfaction like I give him. In Jesus' name, amen. I stepped out the shower, showing that tonight would be the night. I brushed my beautiful white teeth, thanks to my husband, reapplied my makeup, and sprayed myself with a hypnotic poison by Christian Dior. I combed my hair out, put on my thong and teddy, and was headed downstairs in my 5-inch stilettos. First, I checked on Jasmine and saw that she was out like a light. Tim was sitting in the living room with the lights down low and listening to Anita Baker's Caught Up in the Rapture. Tim loved Anita Baker. That's all he listened to if he was not listening to gospel music. I walked over to him and stood in front of him. He started clapping his hands to let me know he approved of what he saw. I kneeled down in front of him and unzipped his shorts. He was definitely ready for me. I licked my lips and went to work. I licked, sucked, and teased the tip of my tongue, sucking ever so gently and making sure he enjoyed what I was doing. You like that, baby? I asked between licks. Yeah, that's good, he replied, laying his head back. Good. That wasn't what I wanted to hear. It was time to it up a notch. I put her shorts off and went to work, gently taking my nails and stroking him. I began to stroke his inner thigh, placing soft kisses all over him. I went back to work, stroking with my hand and licking him all over and teasing his tip. He started screaming my name, Yolanda, Yolanda. I knew I had him now. I didn't stop. I wanted him to explode all over me. Yolanda, he abruptly moved my head. I looked up at him and licked my lips. Yolanda, the food is here. He jumped out while trying to pull his shorts on. I couldn't believe he stopped me to answer the door. When he came back, he laid me on the couch, and went to stick his penis inside me. I pulled away. What's wrong? He asked while rubbing my breast. Lay down on the floor. I got this, I said. He got on the floor. I sat on top of his chest, took his hands and guided them to my body so that he could fondle my breast. Then I rose up just enough to pull my thongs off. I couldn't resist putting them in his face. Smell that sweet smell. Don't you want to taste it? I asked while rubbing my fingers inside me and trying to put it in his mouth. I want you now. He pushed my finger away and laid me on my back. 4 strokes, and it was over. That was the story of my life. To be honest, I don't know what happened. Tim and I used to have great sex. I mean, mind blowing, love making. Yet, in the past couple of years, things changed. I try not to complain because I love him and I know he loves me. However, now it's starting to annoy me. I hate the fact that I'm always left wanting more. Sex with us is me pleasuring him, and then I'm left alone to pleasure myself. I haven't said anything to him about this because he's a wonderful father and provider, and I don't want to hurt his feelings. I mean, how do you tell the man that you love that you have to pray before you have sex with him? After our little sexual mishap, we sat down to eat dinner with very few words spoken between two of us. We just exchanged some quick glances and on my part, a few phony smiles. Once dinner was over, Tim went down to the basement to shoot some pool. That's another place in the house he likes to hang out. I went upstairs to lie down. I turned out all the lights, got under the cover, and licked my fingers. I put them between my legs and started to rub myself. I couldn't get into it because I started to cry. I felt stupid having a husband but needing to pleasure myself. That night, I went to bed in tears. I was being a loving mother to his stepdaughter and our daughter. I was also being the patient daughter-in-law with his mother. With all that I had to put up with in this house, you would think that my husband would be able to please me. I couldn't sleep. I was upset because I was holding everything inside. How do you tell a man that he is not satisfying you and that you want to bury his mother in the backyard? Mother Jones is a piece of work. All she does is spends Tim's money, and she let it be known that she doesn't like me. No matter what you do for this woman, it's never enough. A year ago, she called Tim crying and telling him that she was lonely and wanted to come to visit us for a while. Little did we know, the real reason that she was visiting us was because she got put out of her apartment, which Tim was paying for. He would write her a check each month, but she was using the money for whatever she wanted. Tim was paying for her rent for over 3 years or so. That's what he thought. Of course, once he found out that his mother had no place to stay, he moved her in with us. Mother Jones was only 59. I felt that she could go out and find a job. But in all the years that I have known Tim, his mother has never had a job. She lives off Tim, who, by the way, is her only child. From day one, when Mother Jones stepped foot in my house, she took over. She complained about my maid, Christine. Complained that all I did was wear makeup and comb my hair. And she complained if Jasmine and I went out during the day and didn't take her with us. She complained if I went shopping and didn't bring her something back. She complained if I cooked and put onions in the food. However, the thing that almost made me take a butcher knife to her was when she had Tim fire Christine. We have a pretty big house, 6 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, a full furnished basement, living room, dining room, den, and a spacious place to eat in a kitchen. Since Christine cleans for quite a few people in the area, her price was very reasonable. For her to come in twice a week It only cost us $200 per week. She was the best. She can shine your floors like there was no tomorrow and make a bathroom smell like heaven. She will also cook, and her food was out of this world. She did laundry and cleaned the windows. You name it, Christine would take care of it. On Mondays, she did the heavy cleaning, and on Thursdays, she would do a basic cleaning. So on those days, she would mostly watch Jasmine while I ran out to get my hair, nails, and toes done. Of course, Tim's mother couldn't understand why I couldn't clean my own house. Tim, this doesn't make any sense. You are out here working all day, and you mean to tell me Yolanda can't clean her own toilets where she sits her nasty butt? Mother Jones would ask. Or she would say to Tim, why does Christine come here on Thursdays when all she has to do is watch Jasmine while Yolanda runs around getting all dolled up? Mother Jones suggested to Tim that he fire Christine and that she would do her work and only charge him $150 a week. I'll never forget the night Tim told me Christine would no longer be with us. He came home early from work and we went out to dinner, just the two of us. I should have known something was up. Yolanda, we need to let Christine go. Tim finally said. I already knew why he didn't want Christine around anymore, but I wanted to hear him tell me. Why? Did she do something? I asked, playing stupid. No, baby. It's not Christine. It's my mother. I figure we can pay her to do what Christine does, and this way she can save her money and get her own place. And besides, she said she would do it for less. Tim, don't act like it's about money. It's about your mother trying to control everything we do. Tim didn't want to face the truth. Look, I have to go to the bathroom. Tim got up from the table. I was so mad. I could have spit on him. The next day, I called Christine and told her that we didn't need her anymore. I explained to her that Tim's mother was a control freak and that he didn't have the balls to stand up to her. Christina and I still keep in touch because once Tim's mother is out of the picture, I will be getting my maid back. Christine was very understanding. I never told Tim, but I gave her a thank you card with $1,000 in it. Plus, I figured when I was ready to get Christine back, she would be willing to come back. I mean, when someone cleans for you for 4 years, you get attached to them. Even Jasmine, even Jasmine missed Christine. I was convinced that Tim's mother was crazy. As much as she went to church and spoke in tongues, the woman had to be deranged. When I couldn't take staying home with her any longer, I decided to go work with LaDiana. I needed to get out. Tim was not happy, but when I explained to him that his mother and I were not getting along and that if I didn't get out this house, I was going to have a nervous breakdown, he understood. Even he knows his mother is crazy, although he won't admit it. When Mother Jones found when Mother Jones found out I would be going to work, she was happy. The first words out of her mouth were, I'm so glad you are finally deciding to do something with your life, and I will only charge $100 a week extra to watch Jasmine. Also, I'm going to have to talk to Tim about getting me a new car since Jasmine and I will be spending so much time together. I started work on a Monday, and Tim surprised his mother with a new Honda Accord that Wednesday. Of course, she didn't like it because of Tim. Because if Tim was driving a Cadillac Escalade and I was driving a 745 BMW, there was no way that she was going to be seen driving a Honda Accord. The following Monday, his mother had a brand new Lexus in our driveway. I told Tim that we should keep the Honda since Shasta would be getting her driver's license this year. From time to time, I drive the Honda and I take Shasta out to teach her how to drive. You would think that with all that I put up with around here, my husband would at least know how to make my toes curl. I couldn't tell you the last time he actually left me satisfied. I don't know what time Tim came to bed, but I know the next morning he was up bright and early in the kitchen cooking breakfast with Jasmine. Something smells good, I said and gave Jasmine a kiss. We are making you breakfast, she replied. Hey, I don't get a kiss? Tim asked. He was flipping pancakes with his robe open, showing his muscular chest. I wanted to ask if he thought that he deserved a kiss after his lousy performance last night. I didn't have the heart to say that to him. Instead, I just gave him a kiss. We sat down at the kitchen table to have breakfast. As usual, Jasmine was a chatterbox. I couldn't tell you what she was talking about because my mind was in another place. I was looking out the kitchen window watching Tim's Rottweiler boobs running around the backyard. Tim loves that dog, and I don't have a problem with him either. He's a sweet dog, and he knows to stay out of my garden. Not that I have a beautiful garden or anything like that. I just go to Home Depot and buy flowers, dig a hole, put them in the water, and put them in, and then water them. Tim would prefer to have a professional come in and do it. But I told him that I love to be outside enjoying God's sunshine. And since his mother is not into gardening, that's my way of finding some peace around here. Tim snapped his fingers in my face. I said, Are you enjoying your pancakes? Yeah, they're delicious, I answered, and poured more syrup on my plate. And the bacon is just like I like it, crispy. Tim pulled his chair close to mine and whispered in my ear. I was thinking, why don't you and I skip church today? We can call Carol and see if she will take Jasmine to church with them. I looked him dead in the eyes. Baby, I would love to. But don't forget, Shasta is expecting us to pick her up. Before he could respond, I grabbed Jasmine by the arm. Come on, sweetie, let's go get ready for church. I would rather sit in church and hear the word than to be stuck at home praying, asking God to help him get it right. Tim's mother could have brought Shasta home. She never misses church, but I wasn't in the mood to be upset today. On the way to the church, I had no words for Tim. I was mad at myself for always getting upset with Tim and that he doesn't pleasure me. I was secretly praying and asking God to forgive me and show me how to let Tim know I need to be pleasured right. But how do you tell someone you love so much that they do nothing for you sexually? By the time we got to church, I was feeling a lot better. We slipped into our usual seats. LaDonna, Vicky, and Josie usually sit behind us, and Carol and her family sit in front of us. However, Josie wasn't in church today, although she will usually call Vicky and let her know that she is not coming. During service, LaDonna always slaps my shoulder when Pastor Nelson is preaching, and she is always yelling, Preach, Pastor! Teach these people something. Or she will stand up and say, Go ahead, tell it. I ain't mad at you. Vicky just sat and shook her head and waved her hand. I slipped Vicky a note. I asked her if she had heard from Josie. She said she hadn't heard from her all weekend and that she was going to stop by the house after church. I told her that I would go with her. I was so glad that I came to church. It seems as if Pastor Nelson was talking straight to my heart. His service was entitled Back to the Beginning. His scripture came from Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and earth. Pastor Nelson began his message by saying, Everything has a beginning. And when we look up the word beginning, it means at first stage of development. Nothing can happen without the beginning. You can't have the middle first or the end first. You must have the beginning. When you read Genesis 1 and 1, it tells us, in the beginning, God created the heavens and earth. The first three words in the Bible are in the beginning. And when we really look at the word beginning, we find that it is a powerful word. Think about it. In the beginning of a relationship, when you first met the man or woman, you were so happy walking around telling anyone who would listen about how excited you were. You would look into each other's eyes and see stars. You would stay up all night talking on the phone, knowing you had to get up early the next day to go to work. As the beginning wears off, what happens? Is that you no longer see the stars when you look in a person's eyes? And those late night calls are answered with, do you know what time it is? It seems as if once the beginning is gone, we are ready to give up and call it quits. When things are not going our way, we want out. When you first get married, your wife might leave you little love letters lying around the house, or your husband might send you flowers just because. Now here it is 5 years later. And the last letter your wife left was telling you to pick up some chicken for dinner, and she can't tell the last time she's seen some flowers. What I'm trying to make you see is sometimes we need to go back to the beginning. We need to do the things we used to do. Send your wife some flowers, write your husband a love letter, stare into each other's eyes, and let that person know how much you care about them. Take God, for example. In the beginning, He created the heavens and earth, and later on, He made Adam and Eve. And look at how beautiful things were for them. But they messed up. They ate from the tree God told them not to. Imagine if God would have said, forget it, I'm done, and wiped out Adam and Eve. But thank you, God. He is not like us. He is not a forget it, I'm done with you, God. He's a patient God, a full of love and mercy kind of God. I challenge you today, brothers and sisters, to take back your beginning, whether it is the beginning of your marriage or the relationship with God. Take back your beginning. Don't go another day, another minute, or another hour with wanting to quit. We are children of God, and in God, there is no quitters. If you had an argument with a friend and you are no longer speaking, go to that person and tell them you want to begin again. The best thing about God is each day is a new beginning. Pastor Nelson's message hit home because when Tim and I first began to have sex, things were wonderful. I mean, Tim would make me see fireworks. The sex was worth talking about. Maybe he's just tired from working those long hours. I mean, if I could just get a good release with my husband and not by myself, my life would be wonderful. I would even be able to deal with his mother. I walked out of the church with a twinkle in my eye because I knew soon and very soon God was going to answer my prayer and for some good loving. I loved him that I was I told him that I was going with Vicky to check on Josie. When I got in Vicky's car, I looked at her. She was looking good as usual. She was not like LaDonna and I. She didn't wear any makeup. She kept her hair cut short in layers, and it was always done to perfection. Vicky was what I call naturally beautiful, and she was serious about her walk with God. Vicky and I, Vicky was not married. She didn't have any children. And when she meets a man, the first words out of her mouth is always, are you saved? If you were not saved, going to church, and had a relationship with God, Vicky was not interested. On numerous occasions, she turned down some nice looking men because they did not go to church. Vicky still claimed to be a virgin. To this day, I find it hard to believe. I mean, how many 34-year-old virgins do you know? I pray that if she really is a virgin, that when she does finally get some, it will be with a man who knows what he is doing. LaDonna and Carol followed behind us. LaDonna called me on my cell phone. Tell Vicky to stop at Dairy Queen. I want some ice cream, she said. I told Vicky what she said and took off my shoes because my feet were killing me. No problem, Vicky replied. Vicky was very easygoing. She never liked to cause problems. She would do whatever you wanted her to do as long as she could do it. The line at Dairy Queen was long. I should have known because it was warm, beautiful May Day. The kind of day where you look up at the heavens and thank God you are alive and in good health. Vicky stayed in the car. She wanted to try to call Josie again. I eased my shoes back on and tiptoed out of the car. While Adonna, Carol, and I waited in line, there was a little girl who kept running around and she continued bumping into LaDonna. She just rolled her eyes and sucked her teeth. The little girl's mother was in front of us, and she wasn't paying her any attention. The little girl bumped into LaDonna again for the third time. And before I knew it, LaDonna stuck her foot out and tripped the little girl. The little girl started to cry. Her mother turned around and asked, "What happened? Are you okay?" LaDonna ran over to the little girl whose hand was bleeding and pulled out a tissue. "Here you go, sweetie. Let me help you clean that up," she said as she wiped the girl's hand. "She tripped over my foot while she was back there running around," LaDonna explained to the mother. The little girl's mother thanked LaDonna for the tissue and made her daughter stand next to her, which was where the little girl should have been in the first place. "Girl, you know you wrong. We just came out of church. What, 20 minutes ago? And you out here tripping little kids? I'm ashamed to call you my sister," Carol said. "First of all, I'm not out here tripping children. I tripped one child who kept bumping into me," LaDonna said, and meant every word she spoke. "LaDonna, you are wrong. It's not her fault. Her mother doesn't have sense enough to know that her child should be standing next to her and not running all over the place," I said, and gave her a playful push. "Watch who you pushing, Yolanda. Don't get your butt dropped out here," LaDonna said as she playfully rolled her eyes. "What are you getting?" Carol asked, standing behind me and breathing heavily from all the weight she put on. "I don't know yet. I'm torn between vanilla ice cream cone with rainbow sprinkles and butter pecan," I said. I thought I thought Carol needs to do something about her weight. It seems like she blew up overnight. Carol doesn't let anything stop her from enjoying her food. She's always cooking and inviting us over for dinner. She reminds me every year she starts the summer off with a barbecue on Memorial Day. You have not been to a barbecue until you have been to the one she puts on. Carol, Memorial Day is in 3 weeks, and I haven't heard you talk about having a barbecue. The line began to move. "I know, because I haven't come up with a theme yet." Carol always has themes for her affairs. Last year was the blacker the berry. Everyone had to wear black. Carol has a huge backyard and an in ground swimming pool. She decorated the backyard with black chairs, black balloons, and a black tablecloth. The centerpieces were crystal trays full of chocolate covered strawberries. We swam, laughed, and partied all night. "Since you did black last year, why don't you do white this year?" I suggested. "Girl, please, my butt is too big to wear all white. I look like a big old marshmallow," she laughed. It seemed like we were waiting a long time to place our order. A man walked up to LaDonna and tapped her on her shoulder. "Excuse me, can I talk to you for a minute?" he asked. "Do I know you?" LaDonna replied with attitude. I heard him say, "I saw that you did what you did to that little girl," and LaDonna asked him, with her arms folded. And I think I would like to get to know you, the strange man said. What makes you think you would like to get to know me? LaDonna asked, moving up in a line to place her order. Any woman bold enough to trip a child in broad daylight is the kind of woman I think I can have fun with, he said. Can I help you? The girl behind the counter asked. LaDonna motioned for Carol to and myself to go in front of her. I strained to hear what the two of them were saying. So, do you think I can have your number? The handsome man asked. Before I give you my number, I would need to know who would be calling me, LaDonna said while trying to be sexy. I'm Lonnie, and you are? My name is LaDonna, but you can call me Donna. How may I help you? The girl behind the counter asked. Can I treat you to some ice cream? Lonnie asked LaDonna. Sure, I'll have a medium butter pecan, hot fudge sundae, and a regular cone with vanilla ice cream and chocolate sprinkles. LaDonna winked at Lonnie. I'll have a root beer, he said. Excuse me, LaDonna said, tapping on the counter. Make that 2 root beer floats. LaDonna stood there suggestively licking her ice cream cone while they exchanged numbers. That was LaDonna. She was always trying to be sexy, especially when men was around. If you ask me, LaDonna ain't nothing but a hoe. And I tell her that all the time. LaDonna was acting like we didn't have anywhere to go. They must have talked for 10 minutes. I was ready to go. I reached over and beeped the horn. LaDonna walked over to the car and handed Vicky the root beer float. I bought this for you, girl, LaDonna said, trying to stick her butt out while she was walking away because Lonnie was standing there watching her. Of course, I told Vicky the real deal about the root beer float. We pulled up in the front of Josie's house and saw that her car had 2 flat tires. LaDonna and Carol pulled up and got out the car. This don't make no sense. You know the two of them been fighting again, Carol said, wiping the sweat from her brow. I know, move, LaDonna said, pushing past everyone to ring the doorbell. Josie wouldn't open the door. Open the door, Josie, LaDonna yelled. Be quiet. The whole neighborhood can hear you, Vicky said. Like the whole neighborhood don't already know what's going on, LaDonna snapped back. Whatever, Donna, Vicky said. Vicky rang the bell. Again, there wasn't an answer. Open the door, Josie, before we call the police, Vicky yelled. We could hear someone walking to the door. The door opened, and it was Maya, Josie's 13-year-old daughter. Hey, Maya, your mom home? Vicky asked. No, she's not here, Maya said, looking down. I know your mother's here. Tell her we dropped by to bring her some ice cream, LaDonna said, handing Maya the bag. Carol slapped her sister on the shoulder. Don't hit me. If Josie wants to put up with being beat, that's her business. Look, I see her peeking out the bedroom window. Where? I don't see anything, Vicky said, looking up. Tell your mother to call me when her bruises go away. I'm out of here. You coming, Carol? LaDonna asked. Yeah, I'm coming. I'll call you guys later, Carol said, slowly walking down the stairs. She could barely make it down the steps, and when she got inside, you could see her car go down from her weight. Tell your mom we stopped by, all right? Vicky said, and gave Maya a knowing hug. Guys, I really hope that you enjoyed chapter 2 of Don't Let God Smell Your Panties. Chapter 2 was titled Yolanda. I hope that you enjoyed. Hello, hello to everyone that I missed while coming in. Guys, we will have this again tomorrow night. I love you all. This was so fun reading and therapeutic, and I hope that you enjoy. Before you leave, if you have not, make sure you thumbs up the live. If you're watching a replay, make sure you thumbs up, leave comments about what you think about the story. And I am going to go to the comments really quickly. Hey, Muffin and Q's. Hello. Thank you for being here. Um, Chef says, blogs got a corner for me over here. So I pretty much. Yeah. Thank you all for coming in. And I hope that you enjoyed, guys. I'll see you tomorrow night. Love you all. Enjoy your night. Get some good rest. God bless you and good night.